Hello, I'm Bliznub, and welcome to Building the Best. Today we're going to be looking at Inaros, and I'm not really sure what to call this one, because it is definitely not Inaros' only role, but this is basically a crowd control Inaros build. And let's dive right in, because Inaros has two things which are incredibly cool. The first of which is, of course, his incredible health pool, which is absolutely ridiculous. And the second of which is his massive amounts of abilities to regenerate health. Basically, Inaros is a crowd control frame focused around his ability to control and regulate his own health. So what we have is a first ability that is basically a stun. It's basically a cone stun. His second ability allows him to regenerate health and become temporarily invincible but unable to do other actions, or to stun a single target for as long as 80 seconds. His third ability is just a massive AoE stun and absorb, and his fourth ability is weird as all hell and I'll have to demonstrate. But basically, what we're going for here is duration. Off the bat, what we have is duration. We want as much as we can possibly get, so we have Prime Continuity, Constitution, and Narrow-Minded. And Narrow-Minded is on this build, because the second thing we want is range. We have Overextended and Stretch on here, which gives us negative power strength, which doesn't do anything special on this build, like it would on a Nova, but it does have its uses in that we gain 169% power range. Now, next up we have Streamline for efficiency, Vitality, which is absolutely essential on Inaros, and Rage, which is even more essential on Inaros. Finally, we have actually the first pre-polarized Exilus slot I've seen so far. So, and the Aura, and this isn't actually what I take, but I wanted to get this build out today, and I didn't think it was worth two more Forma to get it out perfectly how I wanted. I thought I wanted to share this one how it was now, but what I would like to have up here is Rejuvenation and Cunning Drift for a little bit more range, simply because with Rage there is no need for energy regen. There is absolutely no need for energy regen. Every time you take damage and you have a massive health pool with which you can take damage on, you will get in crazy amounts of energy. So having Rejuvenation up here for yet more health regen could be very, very useful, especially in those tight situations when you find that your skills, that Inaros' skill set doesn't quite cope with what's being thrown at him. Having a little bit of extra health in the tank does help a lot. Now, before I go on, I will say that if you are going to be playing Inaros, take a Kubro, and there is one reason and one reason alone, and that is this: Link Health. Now, I haven't even bothered maxing mine. I don't need to. It is ludicrous, because right now my Kubro, Mighty Derp, has nearly 7,000 health, which is insane. If you then take into account not Loyal Companion, Pack Leader, the lifesteal link from that, and the fact that Inaros is, at his heart, a melee-centric frame, this is an incredible combination. It will basically mean that you can keep your Kubro alive through pretty much anything, just with use of your delightful little dagger. Now, the reason we're taking a dagger is because, as I say, Inaros' one is a stun. You can throw sand in enemies' eyes and it stuns them, and you get a free front-on, or I suppose rear-on stealth finisher, which I believe will proc covert lethality. Although, to be fair, with most melee weapons, you don't even need covert lethality. If you have if you're getting a free stealth finisher on a fully built weapon, it's probably going to kill almost everything. And the reason this is so important is because when Inaros stealth kills or performs a finisher on anything, he regenerates a massive amount of health. I'm not sure of the exact number, but I'm seeing roughly 900 health being restored each time, and that is insane. Finally, on Ceramic Dagger, we do have Life Strike. It's not necessary, though. I'm going to say that outright. We don't really want to be draining Inaros' energy pool, as we don't have too many means of regenerating it apart from Rage. So Life Strike I don't think is necessary. We have a lot of means of regenerating health without having to sacrifice a lot of energy to do so. So, anyhow, let us dive in and test this thing out. Ignore the completely unmodded Lato, by the way. Someone gave me a former and told me to put it on it, and yeah. Anyhow, so we're going to be doing a energy reduction exterminate on Earth, which I think should be a good way to show... Oh, no. My apologies, that was almost very poor. I think this should be a good way to showcase Inaros' incredible amounts of efficiency, basically. You can see I only have a streamline on, and most of his abilities are relatively spammy in theory, but in practice not. So let's demonstrate how that's done. Now the first thing we want to do is charge up Inaros' ult, because I didn't explain earlier, but basically the first 3,000 of your health, that's completely forfeit. We're not keeping that. We're getting rid of it right now. So if you hold down 4, you turn that health into Scarab armor, and basically this provides you with 400 bonus armor on your frame, which is decent. It's not fantastic, but it is decent. But what we really care about is that we can then use this Scarab armor to put a proc on a target, which will immobilize him and then heal you for the damage he takes, or for, I believe, 25% of it. Now, the cool thing about this is that that proc spreads to nearby targets. And with this fully maxed build, I believe it lasts a grand total of 42 seconds, which is quite a lot. Now, unfortunately, these enemies aren't very close together, so I'm going to mark a second target real quick and just jump away. And you can see my health in the top right steadily climbing just from those 2 marked targets, and it's spread to a third and about to be a fourth. Come on. Take one step closer. Now, this is why we want the range, is because the spread isn't very good on this thing, but it can be very, very effective, and especially against infested, or if you disarm Corpus, this is incredible. I say if you disarm Corpus, I suppose if you disarm anything, really, but it is incredible as crowd control more than anything, and I've already regenerated all my health back, and you see I'm charging Scarab armor now, and I've already got almost all of that health back. It is incredibly useful. The one thing to note about this is that it is a cast, and it is 42 seconds for the entire effect. Of course, I can cast it again, there's another 42 seconds, but hey-ho. You get my point. Now, I need to find some more enemies, because those ones obviously aren't going to hurt me and give me energy via rage. So, you, sir, give me some energy, please. Seriously? This is like, here, have a latcher. So we can see, actually, for some reason, rage is not proccing on me very well. Oh, of course, 37 will be my energy max. That's a little unfortunate, because it means I can't cast the whirlwind, but there's no real need for me to describe that. You just turn into a cloud of sand, and you are Zephyr's ult. And anything that's currently inside his 2, which is this, gets absorbed instantly. And this is what absorbing is you mark a target with 2, and you absorb it, and when it dies, it turns into, I'm going to call them a snowman, except kind of made out of sand. A sand sculpture, let's go with that. And basically, the point of this, in my mind, is, of course, you can regenerate health. Not as fast as your ult will, definitely, but you can regenerate health, and whilst you're doing this, you're virtually invincible. So, quite frankly, if you're in a pickle, you need some health back, and you don't know how you're going to stay alive whilst you're getting it, this is a pretty good way. Let me quickly, take some damage, and show you his blind, which is incredible, and has a 2-second duration in this build. And you can see, I can get a free stealth finisher on any of these guys right now, and get insane amounts of health back. And this is where Inaros' true power is. Like I say, he is sort of a melee-centric frame. And whilst I haven't really shown him much in the way of killing potential with this guy just yet, can you imagine the ability to blind absolutely anything and then instantly kill? Okay, he still has a Devour proc on him, so let me just finish that guy off. But the ability to blind practically anything and then just finish it off. No fuss at all. Now, the cool thing about this is that even if you don't manage to blind them, they still take damage per second. And whilst in my build, that's not very much damage per second, it's still a blind. they're still immobilized for 20 seconds. This is absolutely epically overpowered. And when you consider that Inaros' second ability even works on bursars, and you can eat bursars, although they don't come back as a sand sculpture, this makes Inaros' toolset, in my mind, very crowd control focused. And whilst I have lost practically all of the damage potential of Inaros, please bear in mind my ability to use covert lethality and take out absolutely anything I come across immediately. I would like to reiterate though that I don't know if covert lethality works, because I one-shot practically everything that I hit with when I blind them. So yeah. It's a little difficult to test when they're... Yeah, oh, he died. Let's test the covert lethality. Oh, he's dead already. And to be fair, I appreciate I'm acting like a jackass, stabbing things with a dagger with covert lethality and going, oh look, he died. But I've been testing other melees and they have all one-shot practically everything that I've been blinding. So, yeah. I'm not even using half of Inaros' skill set here, and you can already see incredibly overpowered amounts of crowd control, ridiculously useful health regen, and the ability to just not give a damn about anything at all. And then when you take into account the Naramon school, covert lethality, and other such glorious little features of this game, Inaros is ridiculously overpowered when built like this. Although I say that, I don't actually think he is overpowered. I think he's just highlighting the fact that there aren't many enemies in the game that deal viral damage. So, anyhow, this has been a long and wordy building the best, and I hope it's been a useful one, although I appreciate this is by no means the only way to use Inaros, and probably not the best. I imagine there's a damage build out there that would be fantastic for him. But anyhow, thank you very much for watching. As always, I'm Bliznub, and this is Inaros. Please like and comment below, and subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you.